Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like the video, share the video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to this here channel. It is UAP Wednesday, y'all. We got a jam-packed show. So before we get into it, please let me know if you guys can hear. Let me know if all is well. We got all of the bells and whistles going on right now. So please let me know if you can hear. Moderator, hey Stormy, let me know if you can hear so we can jump right into it. How's everybody? How's everybody on this UAP Wednesday? We got drones flying around in New Jersey, and the government is telling us, don't have no fear. Your government is here. But the mayors in Collinswood and all over the place in Jersey, they not going. They're like, wait a minute, y'all trying to tell us to not have no fear is nothing, but we got car-sized drones flying around in the skies, and our residents are a little upset. They're a little worried. I mean, they are so worried, honey. They are shooting at these things, okay? This is why the government needed to say something. They needed to, instead of this whole being quiet and, you know, we got it under control and everything is everything, you can't be like that because, see, this is what now I'm really going to get into this today because I keep telling you guys, a lot of people say they want to know, they want full disclosure, they want all of this, but you guys got to realize there's going to be mass hysteria. There's going to be panic if things are revealed that people are not so ready to hear, okay? You got people actually shooting at these drones, residents shooting in the night sky at these drones, okay, because they're in fear, they're worried. Now my thing is, don't go out there shooting, okay? You can't shoot blindly in the air. You can actually hit someone. Bullets come up, they got to come down. All right, take a look at this footage here. What I'm concerned about is that when this guy was shooting, okay, if you notice that that's a residential neighborhood, okay, it's dark out there. He's shooting up in the sky at this damn drone, and he's in a residential neighborhood. These homes look like they're pretty close together. If you see across the street, you see that white building. Then you got cars just driving by. This is a residential neighborhood, and this person is just shooting a gun. I mean, he's unloading that clip at that thing. Okay, now, he don't know who's in that drone. He doesn't know if it's the government. It could be anybody in that drone. But he's shooting at it because no one's saying anything. The government's not responding. Have no fear. Your government is on it. That's what they said. Rest assured, we are on it. Okay. Now, the government in New Jersey, they are actually getting frustrated with this. The different mayors in New Jersey, they feel like, okay, you trying. See, at first they were telling the residents that, oh no, you're not really seeing drones. They're just normal drones that people are flying. Nothing's going on. Nothing nefarious is going on. It's no aliens. It's nothing. It's just drones. Okay. Then when the people started seeing that they were about the size of cars because they were getting closer and closer, they said, okay, well, now they are seeing drones the size of cars. They actually are seeing them. But now we don't know the source of these drones. We don't know where they're coming from. We don't know whose they are, but they're still not a problem. Okay. I want to read this article to you. Okay. In Ewing, New Jersey, frustration is mounting in New Jersey with more reports of mysterious drones being spotted in the sky at night. On Wednesday, many mayors across the state walked out of New Jersey State Police Headquarters in Ewing frustrated. They said they were given hardly any new information after being briefed on the drone sightings. Collinswood Mayor Jim Malley even headed home early. I left after only 10 minutes because they said there's nothing new they're going to tell us. They don't know where they come from, where they land, what they are, and what they're there for. Last week, Evesham Township Police first reported the sightings expanded to South Jersey. The large drones seen hovering in the sky at night were first reported over North and Central Jersey in recent weeks, and now there have been more sightings in Philadelphia's suburbs. The FBI is leading the investigation. In a statement, the FBI said in part, the FBI is aware of reported sightings of unmanned aerial vehicles. Now, they calling these things UAVs. First, we got UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. Now we have UAVs. These are commonly referred to as drones. They're observed flying in multiple locations over the past several weeks. The agency is engaged with federal, state, local, and tribal partners, the statement said, and vehicles that are seen near critical infrastructure and other sensitive sites can be reported to the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Or you can go online to tips.fbi.gov. They're monitoring the duration of their flight, but they really don't have a way of tracking, Delran Mayor Gary Catrambone said. Catrambone said he was not aware of any sightings over his township in Delran, but his main concern is having little information to pass on to residents as the drones hover over homes, highways, and at times critical infrastructure. The colonel for the state police said he was meeting with the governor and would be passing some of the questions along, Catrambone said. The White House says that President Biden has been briefed on the matter. The Federal Aviation Administration said in a statement that it continues to support interagency partners to assess the situation and the reported sightings. Governor Phil Murphy was not at the meeting, but members of his staff were. Now, right now, investigators continue to say there is no indication of a threat to the public. Malley said he wants more answers and feels like the briefing was just a waste of time. I thought there was something that we needed to know and that it was going to be shared, Malley said. They let us know nothing. The mayor said New Jersey State Police will have a virtual briefing for the police chiefs in the state on Thursday. Governor Murphy talked about the matter later on WBGO, calling for more federal support. This is our top priority, he said. But based on everything we know, we don't see any evidence of a risk to public safety. Now, Bordentown Township Mayor Eugene Fuzzy also said he is counting on the federal government. I'm hoping that the federal government is able to do something. It's not going to be the state, Fuzzy said. Fuzzy added that 911 lines have been overwhelmed with calls. He urged the residents to call even more, okay? Now they're saying that their lines have been overwhelmed with calls. They urged the public to call even more. Call 1-866-4SAFE-NJ to report concerns and sightings instead, okay? They have opened up a tip line, and they want you to call this number instead of calling 911 or the FBI, all right? Call 1-866-4SAFE, all right? Call 1-866-4SAFE-NJ. That is 866-472-3365. Not them opening up a goddamn dedicated line. Instead of figuring out what's going on and putting some boots on the ground, they have opened up a tip line. What the fuck we gonna do with a phone? What we gonna do with a phone line? Child, you got residents out here shooting guns up at these drones, and y'all putting out 1-800 numbers. This all comes as some lawmakers are calling for flight restrictions. Here they go. Flight restrictions over New Jersey airspace. That includes Republican Jeff Van Drew, who in a letter to the White House claims that the drones are coming from an Iranian mothership. Pentagon officials responded directly to that claim. They said, there is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership drones launching towards the United States, Sabrina Singh, Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary, said. Now, honey, when that goddamn governor said that this is from an Iranian, the Republican Jeff Van Drew, he said that these are coming from Iran, okay? It is a mothership off the coast of the United States, and these drones are coming from that mothership. Now, why would this man say that? Seems like to me this man has some inside tea. He had some scoop, and he said, "Fook that, I'm going to tell the public what is going on." And they quickly shut him down. I don't think he would just say that. There has to be something to that, okay? Why would he just come out of nowhere and just say something like that? He is a Republican, a representative to the government. He knows that you just can't come out and make statements to the public that will cause them to be in a frenzy. You know, you ain't going to just come out here and make up a lie and tell the public a lie, especially during something as critical as this. I believe that there was some truth to that. Now, maybe it wasn't Iran or I don't know, but I believe that there's something going on that the government knows about. Now, it could be a whole host of things. It could be China, Russia, it could be Iran, anybody, but it could also be the United States themselves. It could be technology that they have been developing for some time, and now they are testing them out. They say already that we do have drones this size that they use in wartime, so that they are not anything unusual for the government to have, okay? It's just that the public doesn't know about it, and they've never been, privy to this information. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that they are drones from other countries? Do you think that they are drones from our own government, okay? Now, we're going to take a look at, I want to take a look at a particular video that I watched today. Okay, this footage is it is definitely something to think about. This man that we're gonna watch, his channel, he is a psyops, a professional that trains businesses, governments on psyops. Okay, now he's gonna give you the definition of what a psyops is, so you're gonna get to know all of that. But I want you guys to take a look at this information. This information is something to really think about, and then I'll give you my commentary as we go along.
Are we in the middle of a psychological operation right now? There are thousands of drone sightings.
Never seen so many UFOs in my life.
And more weird stuff every single day.
Were they human or non-human?
Non-human. We are not alone.
You deserve to know how to tell what the hell is going on. And I just did a very confidential talk to my inner circle last night. But I think that you need to see this.
People within the U.S. government believe it's true.
The world deserves the truth.
Growing number of drone sightings.
They're non-human, higher intelligence.
The unidentified aircraft are the size of cars.
It's like the classic UFO that you would see online.
A lot of people are wondering what the hell is going on. But what if I told you that the most dangerous thing is happening, but it's inside of your head? If you just think about it for a second, there's decades of silence on UFOs, and now suddenly the government is obsessed with talking about them. I want to show you exactly tonight what the plans and motivations are if this is being done on purpose. And then I want to walk you through a foolproof way on how to spot public manipulation. I'm also maybe going to talk about what to do if it's actually aliens. If you don't know, I'm the guy that trains PsyOps. I'm the person that teaches this kind of stuff to companies and stuff. So the government's kind of gone from decades of denial to throwing around terms like UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, in official hearings. Add to that this sudden rise in reports of drones all over the place, these weird sightings and emergency declarations that are going on, I think in New Jersey right now. And it feels like we're being prepped for something. But what are we being prepared for? So let's dig in. So why would this be happening right now? So we're going to go both sides. It's aliens, it's not aliens. Let's do both sides here. Most governments don't just usually open up about things like this without a reason. With all governments, when they start pushing a narrative, it's most often to serve a bigger agenda if this is deliberate. So here are three possible reasons I can think of why this might be happening. Number one, a distraction tactic. When huge issues are brewing, like economic instability, political unrest, global crises, somebody's done something bad and it's about to get in the news, governments usually and very often create some kind of distraction. So remember when the Pentagon released UFO footage in 2020. That conveniently happened during a global pandemic, this chaotic thing that was going on around the entire world that we all suffered through. Number two, using fear as a tool. So fear unites people. So if there is a threat big enough, and I want you to remember, if you're just listening to me right now, I'm sitting on your kitchen counter or something like that, and you're making dinner, I said the word threat with huge quotes around it. If there's a threat big enough, like UFOs, people are more likely to trust their leaders, give up freedoms, and rally behind whatever solution that they're offered. It's the same playbook used during the Cold War. This was called the Red Scare for that reason. Or post 9/11 with the War on Terror and the Patriot Act. And then number three, testing the waters. This goes back to BC years. All three of these things go back to the BC years. This is not something that's original. So governments tend to test and gauge how people react. So if we accept UFOs as real and we don't freak out, that means we can kind of escalate the narrative without any pushback. So think of it like kind of a slow drip instead of pouring it all out at one time. And if you want to look back at some of these historical.
Now, see, remember when I was telling you guys in my other video on UAP Wednesday, if people say they want to know about aliens, they want full disclosure, they want our government to tell us about these things. Did you see how that man was reacting to the drone in the sky? He's shooting it. in the dark in a neighborhood. He's just shooting his gun in the air. This is just one reaction. Can you imagine if they were to say, yep, those are aliens up there. That's who they are. It would be people that really believe that this is my country and I'm going to defend it. I am an American citizen. I have the right to defend my home, my neighborhood, my block. This is mine. This is ours. You would have vigilantes. You would have groups gathering together, all bearing arms, and they would be trying to take those damn things down. Okay? You can't have that. It is dangerous. So even if the government is being quiet about it and they're not really coming out, we have to think about why. What is their best interest of being quiet for? Why would they be quiet? It's the best interest for the people, for them to be quiet and roll it out, slowly, or roll it out when they know definitely what's going on. Because if they were to say, yes, they're aliens, people would go crazy. Okay? So just like this guy is saying, they could be testing the waters just to see, okay, if we are letting them kind of possibly know that this could be aliens, let's see how they react. Are they going to go crazy? Is it going to be mass hysteria? And then if it's not, if they see that the people are kind of like, whatever, I ain't even paying it no mind. I'm more worried about Diddy and Sean Carter. Don't think that those things could be distractions as well. All this Jay-Z and Diddy shit, that shit could be all made up and distractions. Because why now? Why now all of a sudden? Diddy been doing these things all these years, and now all of a sudden we got Donald Trump being elected. Don't want him to be. People didn't want him elected. He's talking about mass deportations. We got China, Russia. We on the brink of World War III, and they're just putting out information now about Diddy and Jay-Z, and people are more worried about that than they are about the global crisis. You ask some people about it, they couldn't even explain it. You ask some people about the drone sightings in New Jersey and some of these other, parts of the country, and they probably don't even know nothing about it because they're consumed with social media. So, yeah, what he's saying is definitely, let's see how the people react. Let's put a little bit of sauce out there at a time and see if because what they don't want is civil unrest. They don't want a revolution, okay? They don't want the people to wake up and overthrow the government. They don't want people to realize that they have more power than what they think, right? They want to keep them deaf, dumb, and blind. Remember that.
Parallels. This is not the first time this has happened. There's just a few that come to mind right now. The first is the Gulf of Tonkin. This happened in 63 or 64, 1963 or 64. The United States used extremely questionable reports of attacks on naval ships, which were not true, to justify escalating this Vietnam War. And then in 1962, we had this thing called Operation Northwoods. This is a declassified plan about the U.S. officials staging, quote, fake attacks, completely fake attacks, like blowing up planes with people in them to justify military actions against Cuba. And in the post 9/11, what I would call a fear campaign. So after the attacks, governments push for these just sweeping changes like the Patriot Act, which expanded massive surveillance under the guise of terrorism. So if you just replace terrorism or communism with UFOs, you can start to see a pattern. So what might be happening? What might be happening right here? It might upset you. It might piss you off, but we're going to talk about that in just a second. So keep that in your back pocket for just a second. Number one is a normalization phase. So just steadily leaking UFO footage, holding hearings, using all these terms like UAPs all the time. The government makes the idea of something out there seem reasonable. So this keeps people curious, but not panicked. Curious, but not panicked. The second part of this is setting the stage for a big reveal. And I want you to keep that one in mind. So at some point, we might see a more dramatic event, like a giant UFO sighting over a major city, or footage that is just impossible to dismiss. And you could think giant holograms, giant drones, or other advanced tech just creating something that you cannot ignore. So number 3 would be a need for a savior. So once the threat feels real enough, governments or even global coalitions could step in as these heroes. They might call for increased defense budgets. Maybe all the governments in this area need to unite into one big.
Okay, now let's just take that apart real quick and examine that. So we just had our elections, right? And we know that Donald Trump is going to be in office. He's going to be our new president. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are upset about that. And Donald Trump and his people are ecstatic. They're talking about mass deportations. They're just, they're doing a lot. He's promising to, shake up this country, right? Now you have people that are thrilled and you have people that are just, it's just detrimental, right? Well, if we have a threat of an alien attack and we got all these sightings and people don't want their everyday life to be disrupted. How dare you disrupt me being able to watch social media, being able to get on Twitter, being able to, sit back and watch YouTube and troll people and, dox people and, all this shit that I like to do. I want to be able to go to the mall. I want to be able to go out with my friends. I don't want a war. I don't want all this shit, these aliens and all that. I want everything to remain. I don't want my bubble to be busted. I don't want my bubble to burst. I want my world to stay the way it is. So I don't like Donald Trump. But if he's going to be the savior, he's going to put all this shit back together. He's going to stop the aliens from coming. Then people will go along with it because they don't want everything to be threatened. They don't want their existence to be threatened. So if they feel like, that is happening and things are being shaken up, people will go along with anything. So this is really kind of like a coincidence, right? That all of a sudden we have drone sightings everywhere. People are wondering what it is. Everyone's on edge. And now we have a president that nobody likes coming into office. Think about it.
Government, maybe a global response team, and I say that with quotes around it, to handle this threat. So this could lead to giant power shifts and more control in fewer hands is kind of maybe the goal of that. And this, you could look this up. There was even a plan to stage a fake kind of alien invasion. This is on record on paper that there was a full government plan to make a fake alien invasion. But what could be next?
Now, did you hear what he just said? And some people will watch that clip and it'll go right by that. That's major. That's on paper. That's on paper somewhere. That there is a plan to have a fake alien attack. We've heard one of Ronald Reagan in one of his speeches. I wonder how people would react when faced with a universal threat of aliens. What would make him say that? This is on paper, on record somewhere, that the government plans to stage an alien invasion. Fake alien invasion. I guess they're going to have dress rehearsals. They're going to do all that before. That's what these are. Dress rehearsals.
Be down the pipeline from right now. If we follow this theory to the logical next step here, here's what might happen. First would be escalating UFO reports. They expect a lot more sightings, near misses with airplanes, mysterious objects interfering with infrastructure like power grids or airports. It's going to feel real and urgent. The next would be a media blitz that would come after that. So mainstream media will amplify the story. They're going to interview pilots. They're going to release grainy videos and have experts explain these things that are maybe defying physics. The goal, potentially, and I say all of this as a potential hypothetical, to make everybody believe this is a huge deal. Next would be a global event, and this could be something absolutely wild, like some kind of coordinated UFO appearance, maybe a simulated attack, or even some claim that we've made contact. And it doesn't have to be real, it just has to be believable enough. And of course, then we have a solution. So after the chaos, governments might roll out solutions like new defense initiatives, new military spending, government coalitions, governments kind of coming together, expanded surveillance maybe, and calls for like some international cooperation. All right, so why should we care? Even if all this theory sounds way the hell out there, the technologies exist to make all of it plausible. So holograms, drones, AI, deep fakes are advanced enough to fool large populations. And historically, going back to the year 1 AD, governments have shown that they're not above manipulating fear to get what they want. So now we get to what do we do? What the hell do we do about this? Number one, stay frickin' critical. Do not take everything at face value. Always question why some stories are getting so.
Now, do you notice he's saying, okay, so what do we do about this? When I was watching this, I was amazed by how humans always want, what are we going to do? Do you know that sometimes there's nothing you can do? He really is trying to put in solutions. What can we do? Because that's what's in the back of everyone's minds when they're watching this or when they're hearing about what's going on. All right, yeah, but what are we going to do? Sometimes there's nothing you can do. What can you do? Nothing.
So much attention, and most importantly, who benefits from that story? And educate yourself. You need to look into historical precedents, maybe current technology. You could just use ChatGPT for a lot of this, and some government strategies. So the more you know, the harder it is for you to be manipulated. Focus on reality. So of course, this is nothing but conjecture. I'm just sitting here at my house. We've got a bonfire going on outside. We're about to go sit outside for a little while and just enjoy nature around a fire like our ancestors did. And I don't know anything. I don't know anything more than you do about what's going on. So the sky's the limit for this conjecture, but maybe it's theatrics. But remember that not every light in the sky is some alien. Stay very grounded in what's provable, and know that getting angry at things that are outside your control is stupid. It's just like drinking acid.
Now I am in 100% agreement with that statement. What can you do? So why get upset? You can't get upset about things that are outside of your control. You can't fight a drone. You can't jump up in that sky and get the drone. So if there's nothing you can do, you know what? Enjoy your family. Enjoy a hobby. Take a nap. Read a book. Find a movie. But be at peace. Don't worry. Don't fret. Don't try to, oh my God, what is it? What is it? What is it? What are they doing? What are they trying to do? Where are they coming? Because they want you to be in fear. Because if they're trying to usher in something that they want us to accept, the best way to do that is to keep people on edge and to keep them fearful. Because when people are fearful, they're on edge, and we are disrupting their everyday program. They will take anything to remain normal, to remain the way things are. We want to keep them the way they are. We don't want to upset our everyday plans. Okay? So the best way to do that is to keep people confused, in fear. And we know that fear is of what? Confusion is of who?
So here's how to spot a psyop. And I've never said this publicly before, but here is the step-by-step formula that will enable you to spot a psychological operation. Separating manipulation from genuine news is like kind of playing detective. So here's a few steps that will put you on top of everybody for being able to spot a psyop. Number one is analyze the source.
Now, in case you're not understanding or paying attention, or you just came into this video, a psyop is a psychological operation. So what he's saying is all of this that we can be seeing, that we're seeing could be a psyop. It could be a plan by the government. And he's trying to, make us aware of the things that would be happening if this was a psyop. And basically all of the things that this man is saying, it's leaning towards this is a psyop, right? So that's what a psyop is. It's a psychological operation that a government puts together, and all of these little things are in place, and all these little plans to, make some type of change, to enforce some type of agenda.
Is the outlet known for credible reporting, or do they thrive in like sensationalism? So established outlets like Reuters, sometimes Wall Street Journal, they report facts first, and others are way into drama. And psyops, psychological operations, extremely, very much rely on sensational headlines. If you see sensational headlines, you need to get the hell out. This is on all media, on both sides of the aisle. There is no aisle if you hadn't got that figured out already. So next is who owns that platform that you're looking at. So media ties with pharmaceutical companies, political entities, defense contractors. I dare you to look that one up tonight. And so step two, question the timing. So you want to ask yourself, does the story that I'm looking at right now appear during a major crisis or scandal or upcoming election maybe? Psyops will very often distract from bigger issues like UFO footage released during major policy debates or global unrest. Huge red flag. Next is to follow the narrative. And I promise you don't have to go do 5 hours of research to do it. You just ask yourself, are multiple outlets, this one question right here, are multiple outlets parroting the exact same language? If you see that shit going down, you need to be very terrified that something's going into your brain that doesn't belong there. So psyops use coordinated messaging to reinforce a narrative. So look for phrases that feel copy and pasted, like unprecedented threat or undeniable evidence. Those little phrases, you're going to hear them. You will start to hear these everywhere you look. And the moment you hear copy paste phrases, that is a psyop. So step 4, look for emotional triggers. So all psyops thrive on pushing your buttons. Think about the FATE model, if you know what that is: focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. So this is fear, anger, amazement. So if a story feels like it's designed, and I say the word designed with bold, underline, italics, if a story feels like it's designed to make you react emotionally, get out as fast, but don't even finish the story. Ask ChatGPT about what you're trying to figure out. So stories about UFOs that emphasize unknown threats without any evidence, you should be pretty careful about that. And then just check the evidence. You ask yourself the question, are they providing evidence like document data, eyewitness accounts, or relying on anonymous sources and some vague claims? So if you ever hear the words, and I want you to burn these words into your head, I've never told anyone in my life how to expose a psyop. But if you do all of these at once, you will never be manipulated. This one question. With that stuff going on, I need to ask, is this going to expand government control or justify new laws? That one question. Will what I'm saying expand government control or justify new laws? Okay. Analyze coverage patterns. So psyops all the time dominate the news cycle and they drown out other stories. Real news coexists with other reports. Let me say that again. Real news coexists with other reports about stuff that's going on. If one topic is everywhere, while major global events get completely ignored, you're in the middle of a psyop. Next is look for follow-ups. This is it. Real news evolves with new updates. Real news evolves with new updates. Psyops fade once they've served their purpose. I'll say that one more time if you're taking notes. Psyops will fade away when they have served their purpose. So as an example, if you see some inflated, sensational story that just vanishes after a week with no follow-up, that is called a distraction. It's called a distraction. So finally is trust your gut. Does it feel scripted? Sometimes things feel just off, and I want you to trust your instincts. Back them up with research if you want to. So what can you do? Like, what the hell can you do about all this? The most important thing that I could give you, and I had no idea that I was going to really be talking about any of this, but the most important thing is cultivate critical thinking skills. Learn to spot the propaganda. Go back through what I just talked about, the recording. Chris is going to make this recording available to everyone. I don't know how or where. We'll make it available to everybody here. I don't care if you're an NCII plus or whatever. Look for patterns in how the media or the government communicates about things, maybe UFOs. Do they spot or do they focus on fear? Or are they offering solutions that involve giving up freedom or increasing government power? So try to diversify all the places that you're getting news from. Try to block every single news provider that you can possibly think of and use AI to get your news. And tell AI to be concise and apolitical in its answer. It's the best way to do it. So I want you to memorize these 3 questions if you're taking notes. Number 1, who benefits from this narrative? Number 2, what evidence is being shown and is it verifiable? Number 3, why now? Why is it happening right now? Next is strengthen your psychological state. Recognize these fear tactics. Fear is the number 1 easiest way to control human beings. Governments use all kinds of stuff as a way to unite people under a single narrative. So stay calm. Question why you're being told to be afraid. Question why you're being told to be afraid. And this sounds like some bullshit trope you might see on some yoga instructor video, but mindfulness is one of the most powerful practices that you could start to adopt today. There's a million videos on it on YouTube. I'm not going to go into how to do it today. It's one of the most powerful things you can do just in general for your success in your life, but it's going to help insulate you from some of this stuff. So just a few other ones. Stay connected to your community, not your online community. Get to know who your neighbors are. Get to know your neighbors. Walk across the street, know everybody that lives around you. Go introduce yourself if you haven't already. Your neighbors might be more important than you realize here if something goes down. Build self-reliance as much as you possibly can. Stay grounded in reality. Always remind yourself that there's a lot of stuff going on, and through all the shit we've been through as a species, as a country, as a globe, things usually just turn out okay in the end. It's not that big of a deal. And finally, just get your mindset protected. The more people panic, the more easily governments can sweeping control the nation. So practice a little bit of skepticism and help other people to stay calm. That's your job. If you remember, you are the one studying authority and confidence and leadership. That's your job, to help people stay calm. So stay educated, but just balanced. So research topic like If you want to learn about this stuff, go Google Project Bluebeam. It may keep you up all night, but you take a look at that. So fear-driven conspiracies can be just as manipulative as a government conspiracy. Finally, and I wasn't going to say this because it sounds weird, but if there's a power outage, you have zero money if you don't have cash. So you may want to keep some cash on hand if you can afford it. So always think of, like, when governments propose solutions, ask, do they actually address the issue? What freedoms or powers are being taken in exchange? And is the solution long-term or a convenient grab for power? So what if it is aliens? What the hell are we going to do? Let's entertain the wild card here. What if it's aliens? Maybe we're finally ready to handle it, kind of. Maybe aliens showed up in the 50s or 60s. They were like, oh, these people have lost their minds, but maybe we're ready now. Maybe we've hit some critical point in history. We're at this weird crossroads with climate change. We're exploring Mars finally. Aliens are watching. Maybe they're coming. Maybe we're pinging the radar. We got all this tech and stuff like that, satellites out there. Maybe we just sent out some kind of we're here signal, and maybe they've always been here, but they've just been waiting, and now we're ready for level 2, whatever that means. But here's why the timing feels suspect. Even if, let's just say, aliens are legit, there's some little gray dudes that are going to pop out of a ship or something. If they're legit, the timing feels very convenient. Why? Well, because governments love to frame everything in terms of fear and control. So if aliens are making contact, I want you to ask this. If you're entertaining this concept with me, wouldn't you expect them to be advanced enough to know how incompetent the governments are in this world? So the information would not flow through the government. So instead, all the info does come through the government. So it feels like there's a layer there. There's a layer. But if it's real, it's not just, oh, cool, there's some aliens. It's about what happens next and who decides how the narrative unfolds. If this was helpful or interesting, and I certainly hope that it was, if you're interested in diving deep into this training, I released the college level textbook of all of this information only a few weeks ago. It's this giant book right here, and this is the textbook of the most advanced tactics and methods in this arena, and it's called the Behavior Operations Manual. And there's a link in the description if you want to check out the textbook. So thanks for joining me. Stay safe and stay sane.
So I think that is an excellent video. I would encourage you in your free time, or, to check that out, to check out his channel. His channel is great. But what do we think about it? We did just have an election. We do have a candidate, a president that no one, a lot of people do not like and don't like his policies, don't like what he stands for. They definitely are not here for his immigration policy. So, staging a fake attack or staging some type of threat, what better way to get everybody on the same page than to put him as the savior, So if something was going on, because Trump, he already said the government knows what these drones are. Okay. They know. Okay. So a lot of people that voted for Trump and that are Trump supporters feel like if Trump was in office, none of this would be going down. He wouldn't be having it. He would be doing something about these drones. Okay. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that Trump wouldn't be having this goings on? But there is some talk in New Jersey that these drones are about radioactive material that is missing. Let's take a look at this article. Mayor suggests drones are looking for missing radioactive material, pushing conspiracy theory about their origins, okay? Bellevue Mayor Michael Melham has theorized that the lights people have been seeing above Essex County are looking for something. A New Jersey mayor has a new theory on the drones spotted over the state. They're searching for missing radioactive material. Belleville Mayor Michael Melham has theorized that the lights people have been seeing above Essex County are looking for something. What might they be looking for? Maybe that's radioactive material, he told Fox's Good Day New York. Melham said that a shipment of radioactive material was delivered to the area, but was damaged and empty when it arrived. Earlier this week, the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission issued an alert that a piece of medical equipment used in cancer scanning was lost in transit on December the 2nd while it was being shipped to the NASA Cancer Center in Gloucester County in southern New Jersey. The device in question is an Eckert and Ziegler HEGL-0132 and was being shipped for proper disposal. As the mayor said, the container transporting the device had been damaged and arrived empty. The device contains a small amount of radioactive material, germanium-68, which is used in PET scans. According to the regulatory agency, the radiation produced by the material in the device registers less than a Category 3 on the International Atomic Energy Agency scale, meaning it is very unlikely to cause permanent injury to individuals or contains a very small amount of radioactive material that would not cause any permanent injury. The radioactive material theory has been repeated on social media and spread around among more conspiracy-minded individuals. The problems with this theory are numerous. If the government is willing to share the fact that radioactive material is missing, there would be no reason to not also disclose that the drones are searching for this device. Further, there is already a team dedicated to searching out dangerous nuclear material. NEST, the Nuclear Emergency Support Team. This is the umbrella designation that encompasses all DOE, NNSA, radiological, and nuclear emergency response functions. In other words, if there was an actual threat posed by the missing device, a NEST team would be in action, not drones of unknown origin aimlessly crisscrossing the skies of New Jersey. On Tuesday, U.S. officials issued an explanation for the lights over New Jersey. According to the government, the lights are a combination of traditional aircraft sightings, commercial and hobby drones, and stars and planets mistaken for aircraft. Okay, this is why people are frustrated in New Jersey, and this is why the governors are frustrated. Listen at this. They are a combination of traditional aircraft sightings, commercial and hobby drones, and stars and planets. People know the difference between stars and planets and drones the size of cars, okay? In a joint statement by the U.S. Defense Department of the U.S. Homeland Security, the FBI, and the FAA, fewer than 100 of the more than 5,000 reported sightings in New Jersey actually warrant an investigation. Members of the U.S. House Intelligence Committee will be briefed in a classified meeting on the drone issue later today. That was when this article was written. Today was that day. Now, that's why people are frustrated in New Jersey, because, you know, the government is just basically saying, y'all don't know what y'all seeing. Okay? Y'all don't know what y'all seeing. Y'all stupid. All right? Y'all ain't seeing no car-sized drones. Y'all seeing stars and planets. Now, what star and what planet you know is the size of a car? Come on. Now, I'm with, this whole radioactive theory. But there could be some truth to it. Now, I don't know if that there has been a recent article though that stated that there is some concern about radioactivity in certain areas of New Jersey, that there has been radiation detected that is actually harmful. Okay. So the people are suspecting that these drones could be emitting, some type of biological warfare. And this is why people, they are now saying that it's radiation in the area that could be harmful to people. So the fact now that they're saying, okay, there was a PET scan equipment that was lost in transit. How the hell do you lose PET scan material? How do you lose a machine that is used and it's when you get there, the box gets there and it's empty? Where did the damn machine go? The machine is huge. How does it's not like it's a penny or an earring back or something and it could just fall out aimlessly and we don't know, we can't see it because it's so small. This is a damn machine used for PET scans. How does the container that it was in arrive but not the actual machine? And nobody knows where the machine is at. It was lost in transit. Our government, when things like this happen, and when we are forced to look at the fabric of our government and these agencies that are supposed to be put in place to protect us, we start to quickly see that we are just humans, that we are not the end all and be all. We are not God. We are not capable of doing a lot of things that we think we are, right? People think the government and the FBI, the CIA, our military, that we are the biggest, baddest. We are the USA. And we should have some kind of explanation. We should have some kind of strategy. We should have some kind of plan. We should deploy these things and get rid of it and live life as usual. But there comes a time when we're going to have to face it, that we are not the end all and be all. And we sometimes just don't have an answer. Sometimes there's nothing we can do. We're not invincible. And that's what people are starting to see, that these little government agencies and these little, FBIs in places, they're not really what it's cracked up to be. They're people. But we want an answer. We want a plan. Do something. Our taxpayer dollars are paying you. Do something. Well, what can they do? Right? Now, if this is some situation where they are staging a fake alien invasion, then they know exactly what they're doing. And everything that we see is not really reality. And they're going to play this thing out the way they have planned to play it out. There's going to be different stages. It's going to come in waves. You're going to feel at sometimes uneasy, and then you're going to feel at sometimes like, okay, there's really nothing to fear. Everything's okay. And then boom, the main event is going to take place when you least expect it, when you're not even thinking about it anymore. See, right now we're thinking about the drones. We're talking about, what is going on, but we really are still naive. We really are still going to work, doing everything that we got to do on our day-to-days, still feeding our families, cooking dinner, paying bills. We're still doing these things. But when shit goes down and shit hits the fan, all of that is going to be obsolete. All of that's going to be wiped clean. Like the man said, if the power was to go out, you don't have cash on hand, you're screwed. You can't go to the ATM machine. You can't use your Zelle, your PayPal, your Cash App. You can't use your Apple Pay. You're going to have to go back to cash. So he said, if you can afford it, have some cash on hand. Because something goes down. Y'all see how Corona, everybody was grabbing all the toilet paper, toothpaste, everything. You couldn't find bleach. You couldn't find meat. Was sky high. People was going into grocery stores, snatching up everything, right? Hoarding. But if there's some type of global crisis and global event, what are you really going to be able to do? So, I mean, those are a lot of narratives. Those are a lot of things to take into consideration. But again, shooting at the drones in the sky is not the answer, people. That's dangerous. You know, you can shoot and accidentally harm someone. You seen that car ride by in the footage that I showed earlier. If you didn't see that, take a look at this. That man was letting loose. He was not playing. And to me, that's very dangerous. But, you know, when a citizen he's not informed, doesn't know what's going on, he is thinking he's protecting his home, you know, and he's shooting at the damn drone. But the drone is not nowhere near your home. It's not threatening you. Why are you shooting at it? Again, privilege. That's how a lot of people think. Privilege. This is my United States. This is my country. I got the right to bear arms, and I'm going to shoot that goddamn thing down. I'm a patriot. But that's the wrong way to handle it. You're not a military, you know, you're a civilian, sir. You're not anybody. That is very dangerous. That bullet you see, poof, 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 poof. I mean, he let that clip go, emptied it out. He had to refill the clip. It seemed like he had to load back up. He shot a lot of bullets at that thing. And what if that was to go into someone's window, or someone, you know, was out in their backyard? Bullets got to come down. And he's just shooting at the thing. It's not even near him. But it seemed like it got the message, because it looked like it was closer at first, and then it kind of like, you know, got a little distance. Michelle says, Sweet Pea, we are both in New Jersey. Have you seen anything in your area? No, I have not personally seen any. But a coworker of mine, she said that when she left work the other day, she leaves a little bit after us, maybe like a half an hour after the first group of people leave. And she said when she left, she seen one. She had got to a light, and she seen one, and it was kind of close to her vehicle, you know. But I haven't seen anything. I kind of thought I saw something, but then the more I looked, I was like, oh, that's just a regular airplane. But I have not seen one at all. I kind of was of the frame of mind like, this is just fake. Like, they're putting out fake news, because anybody that I know, we live in New Jersey, we haven't seen any. But then when I started hearing reports of them in Philadelphia, and then when someone that I know said they seen one, and then my coworker said she saw one, then it's like, okay, maybe these were, you know, these sightings were real. But no, I have not seen it. Now, last night, the moon looked really crazy to me. It was huge, and it was so bright, and it seemed like it was like reachable. It just looked like I could reach up and grab it. It kind of looked like a hologram. Like, it looked like, are we in a simulation? Like, is that shit they saying true? Because it was huge. It was like something I'd never seen before. But then, my oldest daughter was like, Mom, in the wintertime, the moon is bigger. And she gave me some type of, scientific explanation. But to me, it looked like, I don't know, the Hunger Games or something when, they shot up and then realized that they was in some type of some type of dome. Okay, child. I was like, that don't look real to me. That moon is huge. But no, I have not seen any drones. Well, Sweet Pea, the moon looks like that all the time here. Girl, it looked a little suspect. I said, that don't look real. That look like, nope, I'm in a simulation. But you know what? I'm like, listen, I still have to go to work every day. I still got to get my soul sister company off the ground, up and running. Until something is actually going on, I'm just not going to panic. I'm not going to live in fear. I'm not going to change up anything that I'm doing. I'm not going to stay in the house and lock myself up. And I don't suggest that anyone do that. Because at the end of the day, what can we really do? Like, we know that our government is crooked. And I wouldn't put nothing past them. All of the conspiracy theories and all of the, videos that we've seen, and now things are starting to seem like they're starting to be true, what we've been hearing all these years, and now things are starting to be revealed now. I'm like, I don't put anything past them, especially when this young man said that they have on paper, written down somewhere on paper, that the government has planned a fake alien invasion. And that they have done these type of things in the past. They've staged events in the past. Stephen Greer is another guy, if you don't know who he is. He's in the UFO community. He's another guy that has done videos and interviews, and he's talked about this fake alien attack, as well as the government has played the part of aliens when they do, with these alien abductions, that they have actually staged fake abductions. So you telling me that they are wearing alien costumes that are so real, they look so believable when they come and abduct people and take them out of their homes, and these people think that experiments are being done on them by aliens, but it's really our own people? Or they really do have aliens and they're working with the aliens, so they let the aliens abduct the people, and then when the people are on the so-called spaceship, which is really a laboratory somewhere, but it's a so-called spaceship, okay, because they've been abducted by aliens. They want the people to believe it, but it's really now that the aliens got the people and they bring them back to the so-called spaceship, i.e. lab. They see, which is why they see some of these people that have been abductees claim to have seen humans, people in military uniform or people in lab coats that seem to be working alongside of the aliens. Why? My main thing is, what is all of this for? Like, what is the main reason what is the goal? What's the point in all of it? I just don't understand. Like, what is it that they want to do? What would you want to do with the aliens? What is it that we want? I just can't see. Like, well, okay, technology. So in exchange for the aliens being allowed to do human experiments, to do, DNA manipulation and all of this, to create hybrids and all this that, it's rumored, we allow them to do all of that and they give us technology. And so people are saying they've been doing this for years. Reverse technology on the crash, the ships they've been recovering. And now those drones and everything that you see is a result of that. It's a result of the technology that they have been developing. So they're saying that's why the government is quiet and they're hush hush. And they're not really giving you any explanation, because they know they're testing out, these drones. They're flying them around and they're just, but why are they near military bases and they're near, sensitive areas, because if they are government, if it's related, then they have to fly in airspaces in areas where it is government areas. If these drones belong to the government, then of course they would be flying around in our airspace. And how else would you test out something without using it and without flying it? Okay, so I really lean towards, I don't believe that it's aliens. I don't believe that there's any aliens that have revealed themselves, any sightings people are seeing. Now, I do believe that people have seen UFOs, and people have seen spaceships, spacecraft, and all these things. I believe that they've seen that before. But what is going on right now is not that. I believe what's going on right now with drones in New Jersey and other parts of the country, it is our government. Now it's up in the air what the issue is and why they're doing it. But I believe that these drones, it's our material. It's our stuff. It's our weapons, our whatever it is that they're going to be used for. It's ours. It belongs to the government of the USA. I don't think that it's China. They said it's this man here, honey, this man right here. They say it's him. Child, let me put him down here. Let me move him down some, child. Let me move him down. They say it's him. Kim Jong-un. They say it's him, honey. They say it's that man. Let me fix that. I don't like how that look. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think it's him? They say it could be him. But they say old Donnie here gonna fix it. Okay? Old Donnie here gonna fix it. Old Donnie gonna fix it, y'all. They said it's Kim Jong-un, but old Donnie is gonna take care of it. Ooh, look at these two. Old Donnie gonna take care of it. It's Kim Jong-un, and old Donnie gonna take care of it, child. Stormy says that nasty man would do anything to hurt us. But his supporters, his supporters are saying that Biden is in no condition. He don't even know his left foot from his right foot. They say he got onset early dementia. Okay. So he can't, there's nothing that he can do to help us. They are just counting down the days until Donald Trump is in office, because whatever this thing is, Donald Trump is going to fix it. Well, isn't that what we just watched? The best way to usher in a savior is to put some type of threat before the American people. If this is going to threaten their everyday life and threaten all the plans they got for the summer, it's going to come in between they twerking and scrolling on Instagram. Honey, we're going to accept Donald Trump. Let Donald Trump in that office and let him take care of them drones. Okay? I'm just telling you guys, that is definitely, that's a thing. That's real. That's real. That is real life. Okay? That is real life. That is definitely real life. So, real or fake? Alien attack. Do we think that it is an alien attack? Right? Now, as far as an alien attack, if we pick apart that, or an alien invasion, why don't they just do it? Why do they have to hover around? Why they got to fly drones? And, if they have spaceships that they come here in, first off, they're not going to be able to travel through space with drones, right? No. So if it was aliens, then they would have spacecraft, not drones. They would be spacecraft. And why wouldn't they just do whatever they're going to do? Why would they be playing with us, taunting us, riding around in New Jersey? You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, they are definitely superior over us, superior over our government. There's no, they don't, all they got to do is snap a finger and boom, we're done. So that just doesn't make sense to me. You're going to travel millions of light years away to come to a planet that you want to take over, and then when you get here, you just hover around, fly, in New Jersey, fly over here, go to Philly. You're not just doing what it is that you have to do. Right? Now, I am more of the school of thought that if we are being visited by aliens, these aliens are already here. They've been here. And if they're going to make themselves known, they're going to come from caves, underwater, Antarctica. They're going to come from that place. They're not going to come from space. I feel like they've already been here and they've just been waiting for the big reveal. So if that is what the government would want to do, then they would, like he said, phase it in a little bit at a time, test the waters, check our temperature, see how we do with the little drone situation. Is it aliens? And did they accept that it was maybe aliens? Did they freak out? Okay, no, they didn't freak out. Then, okay, let's show them a picture of an alien. Let's show that we actually found one and it's alive and we're communicating with it. Let's see what they do. Let's see how they do with that. They'll feed it to us a little bit at a time and see how we respond. Did it cause any civil unrest? Did they have to, declare martial law in some places because they were rioting and going crazy? Let's test the waters just to see what happens. So I feel like if that's how they would do it a little bit at a time, because like you said, if you just put that shit out there on people, boom, it's aliens and they're here. People are going to go crazy. You see this man shooting at a drone. So if you actually say the aliens are here and we have them, shit, they stormed the White House and look what happened. No, nobody did anything, they just let them storm the White House. So if we say, well, we've got them and they're at Area 51 or they're here or you would have vigilantes, people really trying to go and take the law into their own hands. Marquita says, I feel like they would do something like that. Yeah, like let usher it in a little bit at a time. Biden needs to go take a long nap. Right. I don't think that Biden, he definitely isn't the man for the job. I am going to say that we would need someone that is a no nonsense type of a person to deal with a situation like an alien attack, an alien threat, or something of that nature. We don't need Sleepy Joe. We don't need someone that doesn't know, he don't know the time of the day. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He's falling off bikes. He can't even stand up straight. We don't need that. Okay. Michelle says, LOL, and why they messing with Jersey in particular? Right. Like, there's nothing here, really. I mean, there are Air Force or Navy not Navy. Yeah, there's a naval base in Philly. There's a couple, Army bases in New Jersey, but I'm just not seeing why Jersey. I know Trump has some stuff here, but Jersey, New Jersey is a small state. I mean, but there's a lot of talk too that there are some China, they're already over here planning an attack from the inside, that they have bought weapons over here, some type of nuclear warhead, and they smuggled it over here. They had it over here in pieces. And now they're going to try to put it together because they smuggled over the pieces over here. And now they're going to meet up, put it together, and then have some type of attack on U.S. soil. Like, there's so many different narratives that have been going around. But all in all, we just need to keep our eyes open and just stay focused on what is real. With all the AI and all, like he said, the deep fakes, these damn AI, you can't tell them from real versus fake. And we live in actual social media all day long. We don't know what's real and what's fake. I feel like everything now is, you have to question it. So we have to try to stay focused on as much reality as we can, because they can put something before us that is fake and we just wouldn't even know. You know, AI, all this technology, it's real. You know, so I don't know, you guys. You know, it's a lot to really take apart. It's a lot to really digest, because we're in a time like never before now. You know, I feel like we're on the brink of something. I feel like there's something that they are trying to prep us for, but what it is, it could be a whole host of things. The fact that they wanted to cover up Roswell and say that it was just weather balloons. And now there's every time you turn around, there's a congressional hearing on UAPs and UFOs and biologics. And they spent, since what, last year, having congressional hearings about UFOs. Something to do with aliens. It's something to do that is coming. Okay. You know, something. It's something. It is something. But I feel like this generation, we're going to see things that, you know, we always thought was just a theory, you know, a conspiracy theory at that. We're going to see things that kind of defy our logic and defy what we've learned and what we've grown up on. You know, it's going to challenge us to question humanity, question our origins, question like what we've been taught. Is it really true? Is it real? Have we just been lied to? And for what reason? Like, I feel like we're on the brink of discovering what our society, our world, humanity, like what it's all about, what it all really means, what is really the origin of life itself. Like, I think that's how major it is right now. That's how big it is. It's bigger than just UAPs and drones. And I think it is bigger than that. The conversation is much larger than that, you guys. It really is. You know, and some people can't even grasp that idea. You know, some people don't want any change. They don't want, you know, to even talk about or entertain any of the things that we just listened to in that clip, in that video. You know, they want everything to remain the way it is. You know, everything they've learned about Santa Claus and Christmas. You know what I'm saying? They want everything to, no, let's not change it. Let's leave it, because this is what it is. This is what we've been raised up on. This is what we grow. You know, they don't want to question Christianity. They don't want to question, you know, the Catholic, you know, they don't want to question any of it. Just leave it. I'm telling you, that's why the government knows this. They know this. This is why, if there is something that they're trying to, that they want to reveal to us, they know that they have to be careful with putting out this information, because people will go crazy. And I don't think people realize when I say that, what I mean by that. Do you guys get it? That people will go crazy if you tell them that the sky is not blue. If you tell them that, hey, that's not real. You know, we just lied to you your entire life because we wanted you to be complicit. We wanted you to, you know what I mean? We wanted to instill fear so that you would obey the law, obey the rules, obey the laws of the land, obey us. So we just fed all this garbage, and we just fed you all this bullshit. And we've been lying to you since your birth. with all these different, we've been all these indoctrinations and all that, we just been putting it in and instilling it and instilling. We've been programming you since the day you came out of your mother's womb. Do you think if people were faced with that, how would they act? How would they respond to that? If you tell someone, like, especially a Christian, a devout Christian or a devout Catholic, if you were to tell them that their religion isn't real. But see, what a lot of people have been studying and coming to the realization that the Catholic Church, they know that some of the things, that they've intentionally taught their followers, they know that it's a lie. They have instilled fear for generations and centuries to get people to be complicit with the Catholic Church. If people that follow that religion were to find out that it was based all on a lie, what do you think would happen? There would be no more hope. There would be no more rules to follow. Well, if this is fake, why follow the rule? Why be complicit? Why be compliant? I might as well just go, you know what I mean? Like, I might as well just go on a killing spree. I might as well just go storm wherever I want to storm at. I might as well just revolt if none of this shit is real. Why stay in line? Why obey? And so then when people start to revolt like that, then they're going to have to issue in martial law. They're going to have to issue in a stronger form of control. So they could just be testing the waters just to see, are we going to have to go that route? Or are these people just going to go along with us? So, like I said, you guys, it's a longer, video than I have time for today to get into all of the different discussions and the rabbit holes that we can go down. But that's what this whole segment on Wednesdays, that's what that is for. UAP Wednesday is for us to discuss these things and to, pull back the curtains on a lot of this stuff, because some people think that these are just conspiracy theories, that, when we talk about aliens or life on other planets, or, if we talk about the pyramids being some type of energy, things to harness energy, or if we talk about, hey, these civilizations may have had help from ETs when they built these things, or maybe they were a giant race of people. Maybe they were larger than what we are today. When we look at all of the different structures that are built in the United States, like our Capitol buildings and some of these older buildings that are libraries, but they were, older structures. And they say that people back in the 1800s and 1700s, they are supposedly the ones that built these things, and they didn't even really have the tools to do the kind of masonry. But if we get into that, people that are diehard, historians and diehard Americans, okay, they will go crazy if you introduce a new idea that stuff was already here from a previous civilization. What? Yeah, I mean, it could have been here from, a giant race of people. Do you see how big the doorways are? Like, when we make homes and we make buildings nowadays, we make the doorways and frames and everything to fit our, our height and maybe just a little bit taller. Why would you make doorways that are like huge and big as hell? And, could it be because the people back then were bigger? You know what I mean? So, and those buildings in the 1700s that supposedly these people built, that's why they were having the world fairs and stuff, so that they can make it look like they built these buildings, but they really didn't. The buildings were already there. Okay, they were there from previous civilization. Oh no, you start talking about stuff like that and boom, people will want to cut your head off. So if you can imagine that type of environment, but then you tell someone that that stuff is not true, you could have a World War III right here. Out of chaos comes order. And what kind of order, right? Is it order that they had to, instill with fear? So a lot of times is this chaos orchestrated, or is the chaos just natural chaos? Did they orchestrate the chaos so that they can usher in change? And what kind of change? Stricter policies on our civil liberties, right? More, intrusion. Because that's what it's all about. More and more intrusion, invading our privacy more and more, taking our rights away more and more. Oh, I just got a tweet. What is this? Drone update. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection has debunked a theory that missing radioactive material could be linked to the mysterious drone sightings across the state. So they're doing debunkings instead of just telling people what's what. I'm telling you, our government and our whole way of life right now is just trash. The more advanced psychological operation, don't put anything past them. True. The most advanced psychological operation, right? Yeah, that's the psyops that we were talking about. And like I said, the Diddy, Jay-Z, all that's all distractions. They pay these celebrities and they pay these influencers to distract us. Why do you think these people get famous off of the weirdest, dumbest shit? Look at Shamar. Clock that T. Dances and shit. TikToks going viral and all that. That's just to distract people, and they put money into that. Look, someone like me doing, a video on UAPs and trying to get out information to the public and trying to discuss something that is really worth value. I got 33 people here. My channel is building slowly. When I do entertainment type stuff, I have way more views. But when it's something like this, a handful of people show up. They rarely push my videos out into the algorithm because they don't want us talking about things like this. They don't want us to educate the public. Now, people that have hundreds of thousands and millions of subscribers that cover these kind of topics, of course they get the views. Of course they're in the algorithm because some of them are controlling the narrative. Some of them are just giving and feeding the public with information that that they want the masses to be, privy to. But someone like me that might be trying to put out some truth or some conspiracy theory, they will block my content. They won't even recommend my content. UFOs would put off radiation detection. Military drones would probably be put up to detect UFOs. Well, my whole thing is, if it was UFOs, why wouldn't they just do what it is that they're gonna do? Why are they spending time flying around, And usually they don't have drones. Like, these are actually drones. They actually look like drones. They're just the size of vehicles. Why wouldn't they be, the normal UAP or metallic so-called spaceships that they usually are flying around in? And why would they just fly around and not make themselves known and attack and do what the hell they gonna do? Why all of the suspense? What are you waiting for? What specific time are you waiting for? That's how they give themselves away. This plot, so that they can usher in whatever it is that they're trying to, whatever their damn plan is. It's obvious that it's not aliens, because the aliens would have done whatever it is that they came here to do. You came here to, obliterate the population. That doesn't take long. So, all of the sightings, weeks of suspense, they would just do what it is they have to do. The government, their hands are all over this. But what and to what extent, that's the question. That's the question that we are asking ourselves. What is this all about? We know it's the government. We're not stupid. We know it's the government. We know it's not aliens. Now, like I said, I believe aliens do exist, and I believe that there are conversations to be had about government programs that deal with aliens and all that, reverse engineering and all of that. But this drone situation is not aliens. No, this is us. This is our technology. These are our drones, and they're being deployed because they're just trying to test them out, flying them around, seeing if they work. This is probably something that they just developed. They've been working on it for a long time, and now they're ready to show the country what they have, and they're ready to show their enemies what they have, because they have to keep a lid on it. Now, maybe they're not saying anything, right now that it's us, it's ours, because they're just waiting to make sure that everything that they work right, or that, so that way their adversaries and their, our China and Russia and countries that are against us, we won't seem weak, like, oh, if they don't work, they don't want to speak too soon, so I definitely don't think that it is another country either. I don't think it's China. I don't think so, because if it was, they would know that. And I feel like if it was a threat do you really think that they're going to let China or another country threaten us in such a way to be flying around in our airspace with their, unauthorized drones? That's like an act of war, that you invaded our country with your drones. What are you meaning to do with them? So that's another way that that it is not, that it's our government, because they're not going to just let drones from other countries fly around in our airspaces. They're just not going to do that around our military bases. And no, they're not going to do that. So that's another way, that it is the government. UFOs doesn't necessarily aliens. True. UFOs could be drones, right? They could be AI. It doesn't necessarily have to be some type of alien, like a biological, biologic, like the lady said, biologics. It doesn't have to be an actual, entity. It could be a drone. It could be a technology, some type of machine, but I just don't think if it is otherworldly, whatever type of entity it is, that it means us any harm, because if it did, it would have done it already. What would it be waiting for? It could just do it. It could just take over. It's much smarter and more capable than our government, our little, race of people. So it definitely, whatever it is, if it is like I said, but these drones, we're saying it's our government. But if we do have contact with aliens or anything like that, which I believe we do, we have some type of agreement with them. We have some type of interaction with them, and we've been having. And like I said, there may be some that want to cause us harm, and they pacify those ones by letting them do experiments, letting them do whatever. And then there's those that want to work with us to advance humanity and all of that there. And so we work with them, and they give us technology and all of that there. But I believe that if there was some type of threat and that they wanted to invade us and take over, they could have been done that. They are much more advanced than we are. A non-human biologics I communicate with is my dog. Oh, okay. Okay. Please don't get silly. This is a serious conversation. Please don't start, because we will block you. But yes, you guys, That's what these segments are designed for. So please don't be shy in the comments. Don't say silly things like this person, because this is serious. Like, a lot of us, we have children, we have families to think about. And of course, no one wants to disrupt their everyday. We got plans, but we have to think about what is it really? All of this can be obsolete at any minute. They can shut this down at any minute. What is this really? What are we really, what is this? I question that every day. I have a deeper train of thought and way of thinking, like every day. Sometimes I have to shut it down, because I'll go and go and go and go, because sometimes I just think about, like, what is this really? What is our existence? Like, what are we really doing here? What does this all really mean? We just born to die? Like, we're just going to die. We're just, we're going to run a rat race, and we're going to do all of this until whatever happens to us and we pass away. So I think about, like, all of those things, and it just, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper, and like I said, into rabbit hole after rabbit hole after rabbit hole. So like I said, at the end of the day, if we can't control these things, don't fear, don't be worried. You know what I'm saying? Just do the things that you love to do. Love on the people that you love. Cultivate the relationships that you love. Make sure your kids know you love them. Your loved one knows that you love them. The time that you're here with them, make the most of it. Do the things that you want to do. Don't spend time doing the things that people want you to do. Do what makes you happy. We're only going to be here for a short amount of time. And the goal is to love and enjoy, and you know what I'm saying? And to be a blessing, and to make a mark. You know what I'm saying? To leave a legacy, to leave something behind. I really believe that is what the goal, and that is what we are here for, an experience, to learn how to love one another and to have a human experience in love. And that's a broad statement. How do you love? How do you show the ones that you're with that you love them? How do you show your fellow man that, you love them? Because that's what life is all about, love. We are here to learn how to love and how to be kind and, help one another, to advance and build up. That's how this society, in each generation, in each time period, that's how come it grows and it advances, out of love and compassion. Working together to solve problems and to create things. And we have to, we got to get back to that, because I'm telling you, a lot of us, we are just so focused on ourselves and focused on our own goals and our own aspirations that we don't care how we get there. We don't care who we step on. We don't care what we have to do. And we totally forget about love and compassion. That's why when somebody is going through something, like right now, we can see somebody getting mugged or robbed or something happening on the streets, and we'll walk right by. We won't even stop to help. I agree with you 100%. I drove through Roswell, New Mexico, and saw UFO merchandise everywhere. It gave me deep thoughts, for real. Keep up the great content and stay blessed. Thank you very much. I mean, why all of a sudden aliens? Why do they want us so paranoid about aliens? It's a distraction. And like, a distraction from what? We just had an election, like the guy the clip we were just watching. These events are planned around things like elections, wanting to pass new laws, just want to see how the public is going to react and how they're going to respond. Because I'm telling you, you have some patriots and some people that are real, oh boy. I think oh, okay. Let me make sure my camera didn't stop. Oh, okay, we're good. Okay. Sorry guys. This is a different type of camera, and the battery will die. This isn't StreamYard, so I'm using a camera that is outside of the program, and if it dies, then the live will stop. So I must have hit the stop button on my actual video, and it made it look like the camera stopped. But like I said, you have some people that are real patriotic, honey, and they feel like this is their country. And how dare you infiltrate it? How dare you put out any other information other than what it is that we have known all of this time, all these years? You put out something that disrupts that, and they will go crazy. You see how they stormed? I'm just going to keep pointing back to that. You see how they stormed the Capitol when they was told to storm that Capitol. Now he wants to usher in this whole plan of deportation. Okay? If you have an alien attack or drones or whatever, and people are uneasy, they might not be so sympathetic to these people being deported. Okay? If they think that there's a threat from another country, China or Russia, or we need to shut these borders down because these people can't get in. They already got the drones in. We got to protect ourselves. So lock the borders up, shut them down, and get all these people out of here. If they're putting out stories like, oh, these people from China, they're already over here. They had a nuclear warhead that they smuggled over here. They took it all apart and they brought it in piece by piece. And now they're going to meet up somewhere and they're going to put it all together and they're going to detonate it. Well, if you put that story out there, then people start to fear, and then they will be okay with mass deportation of whoever. Okay. Now it's not all of a sudden just people of Mexican descent, or, you know what I mean? It's not just the Latino Mexican population. Now it's Chinese people and Japan and, Korea and Africa. Next, it's everybody that we fear. Okay. So think about it, guys. Is this drone situation something larger, part of a larger conspiracy to usher in some type of change, to usher in some type of new laws, some type of program that people normally wouldn't be so willing to accept if they weren't in fear? Fear, being scared, makes people do crazy things. It makes people accept anything. They want to protect their home, protect their kids, their pets. We got a lot going on in our each individual home. Like the guy said, maybe you need to start getting to know your neighbors. Something go down on something go down in this country. You got to start knowing the people on the block. Your neighbor might have a generator. Your power go out. The neighbor might have a generator. You might have to go over there and be with the neighbor. Everybody might have to come together, put all their resources together. We never know what's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you one thing. They've gotten us ready psychologically. I don't think that the American people realize that psychologically we've already been programmed for these events with the movies that we've been watching. They've already created all of these scenarios in movies that we've seen. War of the Worlds. Okay, the day after tomorrow with the global all of the climate change events and stuff, the stuff that could happen if an asteroid hit we've already been kind of prepared through movies, and people don't realize that because they've watched so many of these movies, if something like that were to happen, you already kind of feel like you're prepared for that. You know what to do. Because you watch this character, they did that in the movie. Because now people don't realize that, we've been living in it where they've just been throwing all this propaganda at us through these movies. And now, because we mix reality with social media, fake news all the time, we're going to do that when something like this happens. We're going to think about that movie we saw. Oh, so and so did that in the War of the Worlds. They went and they ran and hid under the car, or they, you know what I mean? I'm serious. Oh, well, the day after tomorrow, they went and everybody crowded up in the library. So you guys, let's go try to find the supplies, medicines and stuff. We need to go make sure we loot the pharmacies and get all the medicines. Like, I'm telling you, propaganda, we've been fed with a lot of propaganda and we don't even realize it. I tell people all the time, like the movie theaters back in the day, World War I, World War II, the movie houses, they were there for that purpose, to spread propaganda. People would go to the movies and, sit in the theater, and they would learn about what was going on over in, the war zones and overseas and everything. And they would be protected at home on U.S. soil, but they were getting footage back from the war zone. They were seeing the bombs blowing up, because journalists were allowed to go over there and people were not to touch the journalists. Each side knew that they couldn't harm a journalist. So they get all the footage and they, get everything as they could. And then they would ship it back over here for people to be able to watch it so they can be desensitized to what was going on in the war. So that any other policies or new things that they would have to implement, the people would be okay with it because they were seeing what's going on in real time. Like, think about it. Why would it be important for World War I, World War II? Why would it be important for us to watch footage of the war? Why would they want you to see that? Why would they want you to see people getting blowed up and think? Because they want to desensitize people so that they will be okay with certain practices or certain things that they would have to do that may seem inhumane, or, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we're going to take the prisoners to Guantanamo Bay and we're going to torture them. Now, you might have human rights activists or people that might be against that. But if we tell them that, we're torturing them because they're war criminals, and then you've been busy watching all that propaganda, then all of a sudden you're okay with Guantanamo Bay. You're okay with people being tortured, all in the name of their enemies of our country, and they're spies, and they're this, and they're that. All of a sudden, your love and humane thinking goes out the window when your liberal civil rights or whatever, your liberal civil liberties. That's I was trying to say it, my tongue tied. When your civil liberties are threatened, okay? People would go with anything when that is threatened, I'm telling you. And it's even worse now, okay, because people are very comfortable. Look at us. We eat, we glut, we go to this game, this vacation, that. We're all out of shape. We just lazy. We don't let that be threatened. Let your Friday night routine, when you get off work, you go to the bar, you get your wingdings, or you might get your crabs, or whatever it is that you do. Let that routine be threatened. It's small things like that. People don't want that to be, they don't want their life to be shooken up. We are so used to just being complacent. Like, we haven't had a real war. Like, look how it was with the Depression. We haven't had real bad times. And I mean, we have economy issues here and there, but I mean real bad times. We've had peacetime for a very long time. We didn't have to worry about people being drafted and our sons being, taking off the war. We haven't had to worry about any of that for a very long time. People are very comfortable. They're not going to want be any of that to be shaken up. So it's going to be real easy. And I bet the government is sitting back laughing and watching and looking at us, and they see how easy it's going to be. It's going to be very easy to put up whatever little plan they got in front of us. We're going to take it just like that. Because we don't want to, we're all out of shape. Can't nobody run and be trying to run and outrun an enemy and trying to jump and hide. And I don't want, listen, what you want to do? That's what they know. That's what people are going to do. Let me just take it. Whatever, Mark, whatever you want, I'll just take it. I'm out of shape. I can't run. I'm telling you. That's why a lot of times we make jokes about stuff, but a lot of it is actually serious. But I'm of the school of thought, what can I really do? What can I really do? They know. A lot of predictive programming. Yep. We lose focus of what's important. But I'm telling you, I see with that guy shooting up in the air, that tells me all I need to know. And I know how New Jersey is. I know how some of these people give it up in New Jersey, and they're very patriotic, okay? They're not going to just stand for any takeover. They're not. They're not going down without a fight, okay? So some of those people, I don't know if it's going to be that easy for some of these patriots, okay? So you guys, if you catch the replay of this video, let me know what you think about this conversation. I know it was a lot. We talked about a lot. But our government has been known to be very tricky. Our government is very sneaky. Our government is always planning. And they've had these plans in place for a very long time. Just like the gentleman said in the footage that we watched, there is actual documentation. It is on paper that they plan to stage a fake alien attack. And the only reason that that's for is so that they can usher in some type of change. Maybe it's a new president. Maybe it's new laws, you know what I'm saying? New civil liberties that they want to violate even more, like how they did with the Patriot Act. And you'll be willing to accept these things because you feel threatened. Your peace is threatened. Your normal daily routine is threatened because the drones in the sky and all of these things are threatening your peace and your safety. And you don't want that to occur. So you're going to go along with whatever it is that they set out before you. And you're going to go and you're going to take it. You're going to take it. Okay? So my advice to you, as far as, and this person says, read the Bible. I've read the Bible and I do read the Bible, but this discussion is not about religion. And on this channel, I do not impart any religious beliefs on anyone. I don't speak about my religious beliefs at all. And I do not try to change how anyone thinks, what president they want to vote for, who they support. None of that. I don't do that over here. Okay. I believe in all of us working together in spite of our differences, because at the end of the day, those differences mean nothing. We all bleed. We all bleed red. Okay. We all get sick. We all die. And at the end of the day, we're going to need to support one another, because if the shit hits the fan, regardless to whether you say read the Bible or not, the Bible is not going to stop any event from occurring. Okay. Because we do know that there is a God and there is a devil. And before things get good, a lot of times they have to get bad. All right. So irregardless to whether there is religion in place, we still are going to need to rely on our fellow man. And with that, it's going to take love and compassion. And we will need to be able to be there for one another. Because if things get bad, what the Bible going to do? in the Bible, there's prophecy, and prophecy has to be fulfilled. So there's going to be hard times. There's going to be things that we're going to come up against. It's not going to just be some peach and cream and, oh, raptured away we go. No, there's going to be hard times on this earth. People are going to go through some very tough times. So whether you believe in the rapture, whether you believe in the second coming, whatever it is that you believe in, we all need to believe in love. And we all need to be believing in being there for our fellow man, no matter what color, no matter what race, no matter what religion. It doesn't matter. We're going to need to support one another and help one another. So my advice to anyone that is watching this video, if you feel fearful of these drones, please, 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 please don't feel fear, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to be in fear. Okay? There's nothing that we can do but love one another, but love our families, love on our families, spend time with your kids, talk to your kids, keep everybody at peace. Don't be in a frenzy. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep your home peaceful. Keep everything calm. It's no reason to freak out. Confusion is of the devil. We don't want to be confused, and we don't want to be fearful. The devil is the author of confusion. That we do know. Okay? Whether you believe in whatever you believe in, we know that confusion is not of the light. Whether you believe in the devil, God, whatever, we know that light, good, anything associated with that, confusion is not that. Wrath is not that. Fear is not that. Okay? So that's what we have to focus on. We got to focus on just being at peace. Don't the fear and the questioning and the what if and what are we going to do? Oh my God. And worry is another thing. Don't worry. Don't worry about anything. Don't be anxious for anything. You know, just try to keep your peace. Just try to remain calm. There's nothing you can do about the drones flying around. They're going to keep flying around as long as they want them to fly around. I mean, serious, you guys, think about it. They're going to keep flying around as long as these people want them to fly around. When they're done with that part, they'll go on to something else. If they have plans to make a fake alien attack or to do any of these nefarious things, what can we really do about it? Nothing. But be educated and be on guard to know about it. You know, knowledge is power. We need to know so that we know what we're up against. But what can you really do? Think about it. And that's what us as humans, we cannot, sometimes you just get to a point where you just can't do anything. We can't always have an answer. And we have gotten so big-headed as a race, you know, and when I say race, I mean human race, not black, white, Latina. No. As a race of people, as a human being, we think we can do everything. We think we're above God. We think that we're above the Creator. And sometimes we can't do nothing but sit back and trust God or trust whatever it is, your higher power, whatever it is you believe in. All you can do is trust that source. Sometimes we just can't do anything but sit back. Right? All hell can be breaking loose outside. All hell can be going on. But the inside, where you are, your temple, it should be at peace, no confusion, no worry. You want to keep everybody calm. You don't want your kids to be all worked up. You don't want them to be confused and questioning. You want everything, you know, everything's good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. You know, come on, let's play Uno. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's read a book. All hell could be going, but in here, me and my house, you know what I mean? You know how to, as for me and my house, we serve who? So we're not going to be confused, and we're not going to be anxious, and we're not because of all of that. That's how that fear, and they want us to be in that frame, because then they can just tell us to do anything and we're going to do it. You know, you want to remain level-headed so you can see the tricks when they're coming. Because a lot of you that are Christians that believe in that mark of the beast and all that, y'all are going to take that mark because you're not even going to realize what it is. You're not even going to see it when it's staring you right in your face. A lot of you guys are going to be lost and confused. You're going to be the first one to take it. Exactly. No fear mongering. Use your discernment. Exactly. A lot of people that are Christian, quote unquote, and they claim that they've got it all down pat and they know every scripture, and they're going to be the main ones to take that mark because they're not going to want to, you know, they don't want to stop them chicken dinners. They don't want to stop the pastor's anniversary, all these things that they're caught up in, all that churching. They're not even going to see that. Just like when Christ came and he was right in front of his own people rejected him. They were staring right at the Savior, and they rejected him because he didn't come the way they thought he was going to come or how he should have came. He didn't express he was a king, and he wasn't grand, and it wasn't a show like it is now in church. Everybody's churching. Everybody's, you know, all grand, and everybody's got all the hair and the bells and the whistles and the high heels and the nails, and, you know, and the pastors are all GQ and everybody's all sharp. So you think they want to, they barely even go out and preach on the streets and bring the lost in. They preaching in the walls. They preaching already to people that are already, so quote unquote, saved. They're not going out and getting the lost, getting the sheep. They barely want to touch it. Don't touch my blue suede shoes. Oh, you're dirty. Get my armor bearer. Where's my armor bearers? Don't let them get up on me. Don't let them touch me. Oh, you're fired. You fired. Sister Jones, get him on out of here. That armor bearer didn't do his job. Get my water. You didn't get my water when I sat down. See, they busy doing all these things. Pastor, sit there. You can't sit there. Pastor, sit in that seat. Where's Pastor's water? Where's his pitcher of water? Child, they ain't gonna know what to do. Some go down, honey. They're gonna be the first one. Sign me up for that mark. They're not even gonna know it's the mark, honey. They gonna be thinking that it was well, I thought it was a chicken dinner. But the main people that they are saying are heathens, and, you know, like this person just said to me, read the Bible. Christ is Lord. You busy judging. You don't know what I read. You don't know what I do. But you just come rolling in here talking about Christ is Lord and read the Bible. How do you know what I do? All loud. That doesn't make you more Christian than anybody. That doesn't mean that you're going to heaven any more than me or anybody else. Sometimes we just loud, proud, and wrong. There's a time and a place for everything. And right now, this is not the time for that. That wasn't the time to be screaming that out. I'm trying to speak to people about loving one another and being at peace and not having fear. And you talking about read the Bible. Christ is Lord. We talking about being at peace in a time of craziness so that you don't be fooled, so that your discernment is on point. And you talking about read the Bible. That it is a time and a place for everything, sir. Exactly, Michelle. Church ain't nothing but a fashion show nowadays. Exactly. Like I said, they don't even want to go out and preach to the lost or preach to drug addicts or prostitutes or anything like that. They be busy judging them. Don't touch me. Don't touch my suit. Don't sit in my chair. Don't eat that plate. That's pastor's plate. I mean, it's a lot going on in this world, and we got a lot that they're trying to put in front of us and pass it off as real. pass it off as reality, and it's not. It ain't no more real than a weave. Okay? All right, you guys. So that's about it. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to take it up on out of here. Thank you guys for being here. This is UAP Wednesday, where we talk about all things UFO, all things UAP. If you have any topics that you want me to discuss, please drop it below in the comment section. You also can go on my community wall under the UAP post that I posted earlier today, and you can also drop it there. You can also email me. You see on the screen, it was scrolling across the screen. My email, my moderators are also they've dropped my email in the chat. So if you red ball this back, you'll be able to see what my email address is. I also am a natural hair care provider. I provide natural hair care products on my website, soulsisterllc.com. That's where you can get all your natural hair care needs. We have wild hair growth systems. We've got shampoo, conditioner, leave-in. We also have products for natural locks. Okay, if you have dreadlocks, sister locks, any of those, if you are locked, we have a great detox system for those as well. So head over to our website and browse around and take a look and purchase. Other than that, you guys have a great night. Thank you for being here. Like the video on your way out, and I'll catch you guys next week on Wednesday. Bye, guys.